My name is Avila. I'm the fire chief at Anderson Valley Fire Department. We're going to be talking about this site here. It's on the Big Tree Ranch in Philo. What we're looking at here is a forest. It has a canopy above it and a large open area. What you'll notice here is not a lot of density. The trees per acre are distributed compared to other areas that you may see further in the background. As we look around this site, there's not a lot of ground fuels, and most of the trees are large in diameter or are going to be potentially larger in diameter over time. We're going to point out a few things on the fire behavior. Fire has a lot of things involved in when it would go larger or stay smaller. Things like wind and topography, all these things have a lot of contributions. What we want to point out in this specific site is the density of the trees and the lack of limbs, or what we call ladder fuels, between the surface fuels and what's up in the canopy. So we can see a good distance between here, and there's not a lot of density and not a lot of different types of fuels, whether it's logs on the ground, trees, leaves, that are in between. When I look down at the ground here, it takes one handful of leaves and then I'm at the dirt. So there's only a limited amount of fuel there that's going to put out an X amount of potential, BTU, heat release that's going to go into these trees. So as they move into these trees, there's not going to be a lot of energy to transition to the larger ones. With the lack of fuels to produce heat, you won't see as much fire behavior. It's a contributing factor. It's not the only one. There's a lot of other things, as I mentioned earlier. But the less amount of fuels on the ground, the better fire behavior you could anticipate in certain conditions. So that's our objective. The less amount of fuels on the ground, the less amount of fuels in continuity to the canopy. That's what we're looking for. And this is a great example of that behind me. If we were to burn this site, what we'd be looking for is enough leaf litter, we call them 1 hour fuels, to be able to produce enough heat to eat up the small tan oak spruce sprouts you're seeing. So what we're looking for is on a day, today wouldn't be the day, we're out on a rainy, wet day today, but if we were to burn it on a day that it was crunchy and we had the right conditions, it would produce just enough heat that would consume these small tan oaks very well, and they'd more or less be gone or just a little stem left when we were complete, just from that leaf litter, choosing the right day and the right prescription.